Alright, let's just go back to how I was streaming before. Yeah, so let's try this then. Yeah, 'cause that wasn't really working out too well. Like, oh, hello, who's this? Welcome in, whoever's just joined. So yeah, I was trying to do like multi-streaming and yeah, I mean, I kind of got it to work, but I was having issues if I had too many platforms. And I mean, it's an option there if I want to. Hello, Abby. Hello, Anton. So yeah, I don't know what's been going on, but like, yeah, I was hardly getting any viewers. I tried doing the multi-streaming thing just then, and yeah, I just wasn't really getting anyone watching. Like, I tried to do it onto Rumble, YouTube, and Facebook, and yeah, it's just not really, wasn't really working. So I mean, it was working, but like, I don't know. Like, it was saying I had like a maximum of like 2 viewers. And I'm like, really? What's going on there? But now I've just started this up, and then it's just like two people just join instantly. So I don't know. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It's just been a bit of a, yeah. I had a good live last night though. And we were talking about some interesting stuff. Like, we were talking about this thing called yeah, what was it? Ethylene blue, and the health benefits of it. And yeah, it's like when you look into it, there's a lot of potential for it, and it's quite exciting actually. When I was looking at it last night, and it was like, but there is some potential things to consider, like that it might be dangerous for certain people. Like, for example, pregnant people. I've heard it could be pregnant women. I've heard it could be potentially dangerous for them, and certain people there could be some, it could be contraindicated for, but like for people who are like going through, I've heard like say like infections, I've heard it can even help things like chronic Lyme disease and stuff like that, because that can be a really debilitating illness, I've heard, like, because it's like your immune system just like basically, it's something about, because it's a chronic infection, it's like your body's constantly like, your immune system's constantly trying to keep it, sort of at bay. But what this thing does apparently is it helps to improve the mitochondrial function, and this is the thing where it's like a lot of diseases like come from like mitochondrial dysfunction. So how's it going, Amelia? Hope you're doing well. Welcome in here, everybody. Yeah, buddy. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here. That would be really appreciated. So yeah, so just looking at this ethylene blue thing, and it's a very old thing actually. Hello, Epic Games. How you doing? What's your name? Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're all having a good day so far. Oh my God, is that okay? What do you mean, Hurricane? Whatever. Hi, Sec. How you doing? I guess so. Like the live, everybody. Yeah, how's everybody doing? Hope you're all having a good day so far. But yeah, just so yeah, because this ethylene blue stuff might actually be even good for people who are neurodiverse. I've heard it can maybe potentially help people with ADHD to focus more, maybe help with like autism, because they found that with autism there's like a mitochondrial dysfunction thing going on with it, and so it might potentially like mitigate some of the um, issues with it. So I don't know, it might be worth looking into it and trying it out if you've got any of these problems. Just be careful with it, just because this stuff could there could be certain risks with it, but it's meant to help to like basically like a detox, and it help to clear out like free radicals and stuff like that. I've heard it's like got antioxidant potential and all that kind of stuff. So it's really could be quite powerful and have lots of different applications. So definitely worth looking into, I would say. What do you mean? I don't know really, but who's still here anyway? Yeah, 6 people watching, 1 like. Can we get the likes up, everybody in here? Let's get it popping in here. Yeah. So if anyone wants to send me some PayPal as well, that's there's a link in there if you want to support what I'm doing. So yeah, so there's a link to do still here, says Abby. Okay, but yeah, if anyone wants to send a direct contribution, that's the way you can do it. But yeah, so there's a thing, yeah, ethylene blue, and I was looking at that last night because the guy I had on my live last night, someone I hadn't talked to for a while, but yeah, it was good that he'd shared. Hello, Benjamin. No, I'm not Irish. I'm English. But yeah, this ethylene blue stuff, it's quite fascinating actually, and I'd recommend looking into it, and maybe you can benefit from it if you have certain conditions. I've heard it can even help with COVID symptoms, and especially like lung COVID symptoms, because for some people it can take a while for the bodies to recover, and maybe this can help with that, help speed up the recovery and get you back to normal and feeling energized again. So yeah, that's something that any kind of infection for that matter, whether it's flu or whatever it might be, just to help you get your energy back. Maybe it can help with your immune system in general and help to fight against infections and stuff. So that especially if you find that you've got quite a weak immune system, maybe it can help to mitigate that. And it's oh really, Amelia? I don't even know what you're on about. Anyway, let's get this shared out, people, if you can. That would be really appreciated. So yeah, so it's really exciting stuff potentially like that. I mean, this guy last night was talking about it, and it can help with brain fog because he started taking it, and as soon as he started taking it, he noticed his brain fog just go. I mean, this guy's like in his 50s, I think. In fact, I think he's like nearly 60 years old. And yeah, he was saying he was getting like brain fog, and now he's just like, it seems to have lifted. So it could be good for people to prevent like neurodegeneration and even have a rejuvenating effect where you actually feel younger. So that's really exciting with that, and that's his own like testimony on that. And he's been taking it now. I don't know how long he said he's been taking it, but yeah, he says that it's been working wonders for his brain fog. So yeah, a lot of people have brain fog, and it said it to help with like focus and mental clarity and all that, for preventing Alzheimer's, and so not just for treatment, but also like to help prevent it from happening. But yeah, like people who've been through like say like traumatic events and stuff like that, maybe it can help to like deal with some of that, and like things such as maybe even things like PTSD. Who knows? But like it's still ongoing research. And oh, in London. Oh really? Was there a hurricane in London or something? Oh really? Anyone else? All right, whatever. Sorry, I was thinking about you. Okay, what the hell's going on here? Like, I don't know. So a lot of these people are just kind of being idiots, I think. But anyway, never mind, eh? But yeah, just keep the chat flowing, everybody. But yeah, I like to find new things like that. It's quite exciting when you find something that has potential for different applications for health and all that. So yeah, I always find it exciting when new research comes out that there's a new therapeutic or something like that that can help people. It's like, so it could be like used as a nootropic possibly, and people finding that it can help them with certain conditions. But I've heard though that it can actually, they say you've got to be careful with it, like that it can, if you do too much, can interfere with sleep potentially. So you've got to try and find what's right for you with dosing and stuff like that. And if you're not sure, then maybe just go to a doctor. And yeah. What are you on about, Sec? What's going on here? What the hell is going on in this chat right now? Yeah. Come on, like you regular chat. I mean, the normal chatters, like let's get chatting, because we've just got all these like idiots in here right now. So yeah. But yeah, make sure you subscribe if you're new here. Yeah, so that's something I was talking about last night. We're talking a lot about like training and stuff like that, and basically training different ways to like train the muscle differently. Because like, for example, if you're doing a bench press, some say like do different grips and stuff, like do wide grip, narrow grip to work the muscles differently. Because what might happen is that someone like overdevelops one part of the muscle and it just doesn't look right. But I suppose if you're a beginner, it doesn't really matter that much. But as you start to get more advanced, then it might become more kind of apparent that there's these kind of discrepancies, you could say. So that hurricane in London last week called hurricane, I don't know. I didn't hear about that really. I mean, I live in like York, so yeah. But yeah, how are we all doing? Hope you're all having a blessed day, everybody. If you're new here, can you give me a subscribe? To like the live as well. There's 7 people here, but only 2 likes. So yeah, come on, guys. You know what you gotta do. So I'm just trying to get the watch hours up at the moment. And what are you on about, sec? You guys just like leave me alone. Anyway, we're on 4 likes now, so yeah, it's gone up a little bit. Cool. Anyway, yeah. So who's still here? So it's like, it'd be good if you guys could keep talking. So we're just getting these idiots in chat. Oh yeah, Anton's just got rid of it. 86k seconds. So how long is that? That's quite a while, isn't it? Yeah. Is that like one day or something? Yeah, because like one day is like, if I remember, it's 1,000. Yeah, for 24 hours. Yeah, the 1,440 minutes in a day, if I remember. But yeah, 24 hours. Very tired after last night, but all good this morning, ready for my run. Oh, you're going for a run, are you? Cool, yeah. Yeah, I should probably do some exercise today of some kind. Oh, hello, Lexi. Good morning. How are you this morning? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, so that's good that you're going to be doing something. So you were saying that your stomach seems to have flattened out now. So I think what happens is that, when you're losing weight and it seems like that fat's still there, but then it can just suddenly just disappear, like when you get to a certain point. It's like because you'll notice, because what happens is that when you lose a little bit from your belly, then you might not really notice it that much, but then there can be a bit left where you still notice it, but then you go a little bit further and then it's just gone. It's like as you get more lean that you'll notice it more, if you get me. So yeah, what's up? Hello, Skippy, how you doing? So yeah, you'll notice the leanness like more as you get leaner. As in, you'll notice it coming on faster, basically, is what I'm saying. It has flattened down a lot, hence I was wearing size 12 jeans last night. Well, that's good then, yeah. Yeah, size 12's quite healthy, I think, isn't it? Like, well, I think you were saying that you don't want to necessarily get down to like a size 6 or something like that, but yeah, I think my mum used to be size 12 at one time, but she did actually put on quite a lot of weight, unfortunately, but she's trying to get into health. But I might actually tell her about this ethylene blue stuff. I don't know if she's ever used it, but I don't know if it can help her with some of her health problems. I don't know. I don't know if it would really help her that much, but size 12 is good for me. That's good then. Yeah. Anyway, how's everybody's day going so far? I hope you're all having a good one. Share the live out if you can. That would be really appreciated. So yeah, there's this, I'll have to tell her about this ethylene blue stuff. Yeah. Because I don't know if maybe it can help. But I don't think it'll help with weight loss or anything like that. But then maybe it can help her have more energy. I don't know. Maybe if it helps with the mitochondrial function, maybe it can have some kind of like indirect effect on weight. I don't know. I don't know if it can help with like heart health and stuff, but who knows really. But I was actually thinking about it. I was wondering because she said she got fibromyalgia. I'm wondering if it could actually help with that. That'd be interesting to see. Fibromyalgia possibly, because thinking about it, maybe it's yeah. Let's have a look. To see if there's any kind of therapeutic use against that. Let's have a look. So just doing some research now and see what we can see. So let's have a look. Could ethylene blue ease fibromyalgia symptoms? So was this just trying to find out the actual if there's actually any. It's just they put these really long articles. I just want to get to the fucking point. Like just tell me if it actually can help or not. They just give these long-winded like articles on stuff. I don't want to read through all that. Just give me the actual freaking yeah. I just want the summary of it. Whatever. Just tell me. Is it? Yeah. I don't know, but yeah. So I'm just curious about if methylene blue or ethylene, is it methylene blue? It's called, yeah, not methylene blue. Whether that can actually be good for fibromyalgia. So it says because methylene blue eats from fibro. Let's have a look at this. So, but yeah, who's still here anyway? Seems like the chat's gone a bit quiet. So, but I just want to know like. So let's just like a look at conclusion then. Let's have a look at this. So you're wondering if methylene blue could be your knight in shining armor against fibromyalgia. While studies hint at its potentials, it's no magic potion yet. Research road is long and winding, and side effects are still a concern. Remember, every potential treatment must be thoroughly vetted at this age of enlightenment. So they're saying the jury's still out on it. So yeah, that's a bit unfortunate, but yeah. But maybe it's worth a try, who knows? Maybe it's worth trying out this methylene blue to see if it can help, but maybe it can help with other things as well. So maybe it's just worth trying just for general health possibly and prevention of neurodegeneration. But maybe it can help people with like traumas and stuff. I've heard that maybe can help to calm down your mind, and yeah, so it's like a neurotropic. It could possibly be. So maybe you could then add other things in with it as well, like ashwagandha, tonkat ali, or something like that. Maybe it can actually help. Maybe it has a synergistic effect possibly with that. Who knows? So maybe it's worth combining it with other things. So I've heard people saying that you should cycle off these sort of things every so often to like. I know some bits say you should cycle on and off these different things so that your body doesn't build up a tolerance to it. It's like someone was saying with things like ashwagandha and stuff like that you should cycle, say like on it for 4 weeks, off for a week or something like that. Because there were all these claims about it could potentially increase testosterone and stuff like that in men, so like with ashwagandha. But I've also heard that in some people ashwagandha can be quite bad because if you already have like low cortisol, then it can just make you just become like a zombie. So what you want to make sure that you're not gonna be become like a zombie with it. So it might be good for certain people, but not for everybody, it seems. Because I've heard a lot of people really should not be taking it. That it would be kind of like taking an antidepressant where you just become kind of like a zombie. But yeah, how's everybody doing? Hope you're all having a good day so far. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here. That'd be really appreciated. But yeah, it's quite exciting to some of the stuff I've seen on it, and yeah. But yeah, welcome in everybody. If you've got any questions, put them in the chat. If you want to, yeah, if there's anything you want to ask, then go ahead, but keep it appropriate. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a good Sunday morning. And easy like a Sunday morning. Yeah, so but yeah, so if anyone doesn't know, I was actually banned off TikTok. Yeah, it's overcast. It's just miserable. It's just, yeah. Hi, Richard. Morning. Been watching for half hour. Taking me this long to find the chat. Oh goodness. Yeah. Typical boomer. Yeah, I don't know how it can be so hard to find chat. I actually do remember it was a bit confusing when I've tried to do it on a mobile. It's a lot easier from a laptop to get into YouTube chat. So yeah, I mean, it's a bit of an issue, but yeah. How's everybody doing? I hope you're all having a good day so far. But I tried that thing last night, and I had some guests on, and we were talking about this thing called methylene blue, and we were talking about a lot of other stuff as well. But I thought that was quite exciting to, yeah, because it's just like this. But yeah, that Ryan was there the other night, so that's good. So yeah, because you sent him that message to find me. I saw that as well. Couldn't find chat though. Right. Anyway, so yeah. But yeah, I like to find this new kind of like information out. It's quite exciting stuff to find, because there does seem to be some promising stuff with it. Like the Mick guy last night was saying that it's helped him with his brain fog. So, and it can help with that, things like dementia, maybe even prevention of it. So it's like one of the biggest killers, isn't it? Like neurodegenerative diseases, I think is it like the third? I think it's the third most common, possibly. I'm not sure if it's the third or the fourth, but you've got what is it? Heart disease, cancer, and I think the next one is I don't know if it's neurodegenerative diseases or diabetes. One of those is like, but I've heard that this theory that like neurodegenerative diseases is that some people are calling it like type 3 diabetes of the brain, because there's a link to like insulin resistance in the brain or something, and that causing like dementia and Alzheimer's possibly. But there's all sort of different theories on it, like things such as beta amyloid plaques and stuff like that in the brain, and that can be caused from like a bad diet with like leaky gut. There's a theory that can then that stuff goes into the blood and then ends up getting into the brain, and then basically causing toxicity in the brain. So yeah, so it's just stuff to kind of like look into. But yeah, this methylene blue stuff may, I've heard, actually treat and possibly prevent. It's a shame that my granddad didn't take it when he had it, but he actually was like quite a big drinker, and I do think that, I don't know if that maybe made things worse for him, but he was actually quite a smoker as well, so definitely not a good combination there. Yeah, I think he did about 20 a day. I can't remember what he did, but yeah, he ended up getting a lot of like heart problems and stuff, and maybe he was more predisposed to it, but when you're smoking a lot, that can actually cause problems for your heart health, with all the plaques from the all that tar and the nicotine and all that. I don't know if it's the nicotine, it might be the tar, but it's it can actually block up your arteries or something. So yeah, smoking's a really not something I would recommend anybody be doing, especially like tobacco. But yeah, how's everybody doing today? Hope everyone's well. If you have anything you want to ask, and put it in the chat. So yeah, my parents smoked a lot during the divorce, and they have heart issues now. So yeah, that might be a contributing factor then. But yeah, if you smoke a lot and you also have a bad diet, I mean, my granddad actually, his diet wasn't really that bad. But to be fair, I mean, he did eat some like crap, but he was actually quite skinny and he didn't get overweight. So yeah, even with like a not such a great diet, it was probably still quite healthy. I mean, it did get to like 83, so it wasn't like a bad age to get to. Like, I mean, if you look at like the average age of like the guy, it's like in this country, it's, you know, it's usually about something like 79, 80, something like that. I think so, yeah. So it wasn't a bad age to get to, but I don't know if that maybe the heavy drinking and the smoking might have actually played a part in that. Came from a family of smokers, but don't smoke myself. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's good then, because smoking's not something I'd recommend anybody get into. It's like, yeah, but it's the problem is it's like the peer pressure that a lot of these young ones, they cave into the peer pressure. You've got to be careful, like as parents, to not let your kids be around certain circles and stuff to protect them from getting into toxic things like make sure they don't get into things like gangs, make sure they don't get into crime, get into unhealthy habits and things like that. If you really care about your children, it's like, yeah, I would personally, if I was going to have children, to try to keep them in like, yeah, so areas where it's just healthy people and just so they're not around all these bad influences. $85 for a pack of 40. Wow, that is crazy. I caught my ex-stepsister smoking once. I threw them straight in the bin. Yeah, what do you mean your ex-stepsister? How can you have an ex-stepsister? How does that work then? Like, if you like disowned her or something? Anyway, but yeah. Yeah, how's everybody doing today? Share the live if you can, people. Let's try and get it out to some more people if you can. But yeah, I saw Hannah for a bit last night, and yeah, Ryan, I think, came in for a bit, but yeah, it's been a bit quiet, but we're going to try and slowly build this up. My dad had a long-term partner, and I disowned them after my dad broke up with my ex-stepmom. Well, that's a shame. Yeah. Going soon to Junction 32 shopping soon. It's great because you can take Jarvis in all the shops. Where's that at? I think you talked about that before, possibly, that Junction 32 shopping. Is that near Leeds or something? Anyway, that's good that you can take a dog in, because that's the problem when you have a dog, where it's like there's limits to where you can take them. So that's the thing where it's like, well, one of the reasons why I might be a bit funny about having pets or something, because like it can restrict you in some ways. Or Castleford, oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's near like Pontefract, isn't it? I actually went to Pontefract the other year. It was like hardly anything there. I was kind of bored. I was like, thought, you know what, let's try and go there, because it said it had a bit of a castle. It was more just to get myself out for the day, really. It was like this glass museum thing, and it's like really rubbish, but yeah. Enjoy, don't think I've ever been. Where are you from, Lexi? Anyway, but yeah, but yeah, Pontefract was, yeah, it's not the best place, is it really? But yeah, I don't know anything about Castleford. I'm guessing it's probably kind of similar, really. It's just a lot of these like towns are not necessarily the best. I mean, yeah, like Wakefield as well. That wasn't necessarily the best either, but all right. Oh, hello, Dale. How you doing? So yeah, I tried going live on this freaking thing last night. Were you there last night when it was like so talking about this thing called methylene blue and its potential for for like health? Nah, I don't. That's on there. Um, like oh, it's like designer outlet, but outdoors, right? Okay, a bit like Cheshire Oaks. Then I've been to a place called Cheshire Oaks before. That was yeah, very similar to that. Because I used to live in Blackburn, and it was like when we'd been to like, I mean, it was actually quite a long way to get to, really, but yeah, it's all right when the weather's warm, I guess, but yeah, it was like it was all outdoors pretty much. It's kind of just like a big shopping. It's kind of like just like a glorified retail park, basically, isn't it? It's just kind of like a big retail park, really, isn't it? Yeah, is that kind of like what that's like then? You get all these like different shops there, like you're like yeah. Originally York, but live north of York now. Yeah, I'm in York myself, so yeah, yeah. So how did you find me on here then? Was it just like accidentally, or was it through? It wasn't through TikTok, was it? So I used to go on there, and I've been banned, so can't go on there at all now. Richard says, yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I'm not even really that asked about going to these freaking places. It's just like it's just a bunch of like overpriced crap, overpriced clothing and crap like that. Really, it's cool going to designer outlet in winter though, because they have this like thing that like an ice rink thing on, and you can yeah, it's cool. It's like an outdoor like ice rink thing they put on in the winter, like around Christmas time, and they yeah they have some like stuff going on. They had some of these lights and stuff. It's quite cool. They had some fairground rides and stuff like they had. So yeah, it's good to go like that time of year really. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a good day so far. But yeah, north of York, yeah. I see you probably don't want to like say where you're from because you get people kind of these like weirdos who just like try to dox you and all that. So you gotta be careful about being specific in it, and you never know who's gonna like try and dox your address and all that. But yeah, if anyone wants to maybe like share this out to people when they're like out and about, maybe they can. If you know people, maybe you could like tell them about it and try and get the more people to come and interact with us. My friend is a coach. The pro skater didn't do it the last few years. That has broke shoulder blade. Oh god. And about the coach, I mean, and about the ice skating rink thing. Yeah, I was thinking pro skate. I was thinking like skateboarding. Like I was thinking like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I used to love those games. Like yeah, I used to have like the most of those games actually. Like I was a big fan. Yeah, I don't really want to say where I'm from. It's that's okay. Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Like designer outlet though. Yeah, yeah. So I guess it's all right for once in a while, but yeah. but it's a lot of like overpriced stuff, isn't it? It's like a lot of this, designer brands and stuff that are like, because it's just like people buying all these really expensive clothing, and then they just blow all their money up in smoke, and then some of these people then want to go and buy like a car to try and impress people. Let's say they go buy a Tesla or something like that. And it's like, it's going to set them back like 50, 60 grand maybe, but because they can't afford it, they buy it with finance. So they're paying maybe £700, £800, £900 a month back for a few years. Ice skating is very hard. Yeah, I just can't be doing with it. I'm like, I don't want to be like falling over, and yeah. But basically, yeah, what was I saying? But yeah, about like, like people buying all this really expensive stuff with money they don't even have. Like they're buying a car, expensive car, with money they don't even have to impress people that don't even care. Like that's the state that we live in, as people being so vain. And why not just save that money? Just get like a normal car for like 5, 10,000, whatever that you can actually buy with cash. Save the money, and then you can just invest it into something. And you eventually, you could buy the Tesla, or you could buy even a Lamborghini at some point if you start getting like freaking millions. I wouldn't recommend people buying something that costs more than, say, like, for generally speaking, probably if it's gonna blow more than, say, like 10% of your bank balance, then you probably shouldn't be buying it. So for example, if you're buying a car for like, say, 10 grand, then if you've got, say, like 100,000 in the bank, then okay. But maybe you should just buy yourself a second-hand car for like 1,000, 2,000 if you don't have that much money, because I just think it's worth not really making like just a really huge dent in your bank balance if you want to like actually have more money in the long run. Oh yeah, you take care, Richard. Yeah, I'll see you again soon. What's this? You're right, Jamie. It's vain. It's refreshing to see someone like you who isn't big on materialism. Yeah, I just don't really see the point. I'd rather just save the money and do traveling and stuff like that, and do, it's about delaying gratification. It's like, because when people get a bit of money coming in, they're like, oh, I'm going to blow it on all this nonsense, and all these like really expensive clothes that cost them hundreds of pounds. That they'll, let's say, a t-shirt that costs them £500 or something like that, and some trainers that cost them £200. They'll buy themselves a chain that costs them £1,000, let's say, and it's like, yeah, and then it's like they might buy even a few different pairs of clothes and stuff like that, and then they might have a freaking Rolex watch or something, and to try and give them the illusion of being rich. But the thing is, though, most people ain't going to fall for that, and usually the actual rich people will just see them as a joke, because usually the ones that are actually rich will be more frugal, and they'll actually not be spending their money on pointless things like that, because it just doesn't make any sense. Like yeah, I never seen the need in buying such expensive clothes myself. Yeah, it's like, if you like the clothes, buy them, but it's like, do you need to have all these brands? It's like, just because something has a brand on it doesn't make it any better. But yeah, I just think it's a joke, really. Like, just because it's got freaking Stone Island on it or Armani on it doesn't make it actually any, inherently any better. I mean, some of it might be made with better, material, you could say, but does it really make that big of a difference from going from, say, like a £20 t-shirt to like a £200 t-shirt, 10 times increase in the price? Is it going to last twice as long? 10 times as long? Probably not. So you got to think in terms of like the practicality of it, the quality of it is like, yeah, nothing wrong with normal clothes from Next or River Island. Yeah, it's like, what is wrong with that, Like, it's just, yeah, people are just kind of like wanting to just show off their status because maybe because they don't actually have anything really going for them. Like the people that you see flaunting their status or whatever about, look at me, I've got these clothes, because they probably don't have any redeeming features about themselves. I mean, so it's like what it can signal is that you're overcompensating, and that can actually really be a red flag to a lot of people. Actually, you're probably just going to be hanging around with other bunch of losers who are wearing these clothes. You're going to attract a bunch of losers, like when you wear a lot of that stuff. People that, because yeah, you're just gonna find an echo chamber of people who, oh yeah, you're so like, you're so like rich and all that stuff, but the ones that are actually like doing well for themselves aren't doing that. I'd rather save the money and just like buy things that actually are going to benefit my life, like holidays maybe, or buying stuff like, for example, maybe it could be a musical equipment or something that's actually going to be for hobbies or something like that. I'd rather put my money into something that's really going to benefit me instead of, just going to benefit these corporations or whatever that want to make money on these really overpriced goods and stuff. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I hope everyone's having a good day so far. Make sure you like the live if you haven't already. Also, give me subscribe if you haven't already as well. So it looks like the subscribers have gone up a little bit, so that's good. Then we're just going to keep on, keep on moving upwards, But yeah, just try and share this out if you can, people. But yeah, thank you for the 5 likes, everybody. I don't know what we can talk about next, but sorry, gotta go. Yeah, you take care, Lexi. Yeah, I'll be on. Yeah, I'll be on. Yeah, I'll be on later. So yeah, I'll be on about 7. So when I was younger, my friends, if you like would buy expensive things like trainers, and to me, I just didn't see the point. I didn't conceive of it. Like you said, it seemed to be fitting with others, yeah, but like, for what though? Why do you want to fit in with these people? They're a bunch of losers, really. Like, why? I would rather find people that actually don't care about any of that. That want to just focus on becoming successful, and because those that are actually really successful are going to look at these people and be like, what a joke. Like, you caving into peer pressure or whatever to fit in with people instead of just being yourself and actually working on yourself and like be more frugal and be building your finances up, so then you've actually got more freedom in the long run. Like, it just makes no freaking sense whatsoever. It's just, there's this whole just like need to conform, but I think maybe it's a good thing actually having autism, because I've never really felt that need to conform. I don't know. So I don't know if other people like that actually feel the same, but it's like I've never really felt actually a need to fit in. But maybe it was more, maybe it actually subconsciously affected me, but I never really fit in. It was just like, but maybe I did feel like lonely at times, and maybe feel like low. I did feel like probably like low self-esteem from like just not having a lot of friends, and low confidence, just being kind of always seemed to be like not really appreciated that much. But the thing is, though, you look back and maybe it's like a blessing in disguise, because I don't necessarily want to be around these kind of toxic people who want to go out and party every weekend and want to blow money on nonsense. Heading out for my run, yeah, you take care. I'll be back on later, and we can have the chat as well later, Abby, as well. So 3 o'clock. So yeah, probably won't be staying on too much longer anyway. I'll do a few more minutes, but who's still here then? Let me know if you're still watching, people. But yeah, it's good to see. I'm the same as you. I attribute it to my autism, probably, yeah. So it's actually can be a blessing in disguise, I would say. People shouldn't be like looking at it like it's a bad thing. I think it can really be a good thing in a lot of ways. But there's this thing called, like I said, I was been looking into this thing called methylene blue, and yeah, possibly it might help people who are neurodiverse, autism, ADHD, that kind of stuff, because of the mitochondrial alterations in those sort of people. So it might be worth looking into and maybe see if you can get some benefit from it. But I'm not making any claims here. It's just it's said to be like a nootropic, and this guy last night that I was talking to, he said he's started taking it and it's cleared his brain fog. So yeah, just obviously like, you know, try it. You know, I mean, I'm not saying everyone should try it. You know, if you've got certain medications, I've heard that can be actually dangerous actually. So just if you haven't got any like medications, you haven't got any like, if you're not pregnant, anything like that, it might be worth a try just to see if it. I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, you want to look into it. It can even apparently help with skin. It's said to actually help improve skin. So like it's said to be like have some like anti-aging effects, even rejuvenation. So yeah, methylene. Yeah, so I wonder if that freaking Brian Johnson guy does it, because you know the one that's known for like all the biohacking and all that. I wouldn't be surprised. He probably, I don't know. I'd have to find out if he actually does it. But yeah, hi Sanko, I'm Jamie. So yeah, so this methylene blue stuff. But yeah, like I was just looking at on like so skin. It's supposed to be good for like your skin. So yeah, so it's saying it can promote wound healing even, and basically yeah, it's saying it can slow and potentially reverse visible signs of aging. So that would be interesting to try, wouldn't it? So yeah, saying common antioxidant could slow symptoms of aging in human skin. So yeah, it's like there's all sorts of stuff, but they were saying now like hyperbaric oxygen therapy. I've heard that's supposed to be really good as well. Like, and they were saying now there might be some synergistic effect of combining those two things together. So yeah, it's like a lot of research was like quite exciting. Maybe who knows if we can actually like extend the human lifespan beyond. Because there's this, some say there's like a hard limit on like basically what the human lifespan can get to. There's like someone that got to about 122. And it's like they say like how, like there doesn't seem to be able to be anyone that gets past that, but maybe with like medical advancements, whether we can, with biohacking, that we might be able to actually surpass that. Who knows? I mean, I'm optimistic that thinking, maybe people get to 130, 150, 200, beyond, who knows? With all these medical advancements and, researching into different drugs and things that might actually slow down aging and even reverse aging. So I don't see why we can't keep on pushing, the longevity even more so with, more research. So yeah, so they see like the oldest living person, so 116 years old, the oldest person right now. Yeah. And usually a lot of them are from Japan. Like there's one in the UK that's 115 as well. So, and yeah, so number one's in Japan, number two's in Brazil, number three's in the UK. And the oldest living man's 112 from the UK. So that, yeah, so because men tend to not live quite as long. But yeah, it's like, I mean, he still looks quite happy and all that. Nomad, do you mean like nomadic lifestyle? I've talked a bit about that before, like how I was talking about like the whole van life and all that, but the problem is that with like van life, it's become very kind of difficult to do it in the UK. Like the insurance cost, the everything. It's like all the costs of even things like petrol, even like service, MOT. All these costs are going to probably set you back thousands of pounds a year, which would just end up just defeating the object of it. Well, you probably find that you just rent somewhere cheaper almost. I mean, what I don't know is like these people doing van life. Is there really any point to it? Like if you're spending like, let's say it costs £1,000 a year for insurance, then it might cost another £1,000 a year on petrol, then a couple of £100 on taxes, on things like service, MOT, other things maybe for repairs. You have to, I don't know, it just ends up actually like costing an absolute fortune. Maybe one can do it in West Europe. I don't know. And it's just with the things such as is that, but yeah, I don't know, like, yeah, if it's really viable in this country. It just, where would you actually park it? I mean, some people park it in like, do like wild camping and stuff, but just talk about like how they're making it very like difficult for people to actually break from the system. And we were talking about this last night with Mick on the live about where I opened it up to him to join. So that was yeah. It's just that they're really kind of tightening the screws, shall we say. They're really just like making it very, very difficult to try and break free. But one of the suggestions I would say is, move into Southeast Asia or somewhere like that, where the cost of living is significantly cheaper. Like you could rent out somewhere a lot cheaper there and get somewhere a lot better quality. You're right, with all these new silly laws, restrictions, one can't really be free. Well, you have to just kind of, I believe that you have to just kind of find a way where it's like, where there's a will, there's a way. If you really want to find a way out, then there is a way. Maybe join an off-grid community or something like that. I was looking at like tiny houses, but some of them are about between maybe 30 to 50,000 pounds. But where are you supposed to put them though? Like, unless you go into an already like established community and they might let you park them there. But yeah, it's just hi, Blozfit, welcome in here. How are you today? Anyway, make sure you subscribe if you're new here, people. So yeah, where are you supposed to even park it? Like you know. Also, yeah, if anyone wants to support me, I've got a PayPal link if you want to, it should be in the description. So if you want to send a one-off donation, that is the way that you can do that. But yeah, like I said, I might just move out of this country. And I think also the people in these other countries might be a bit more positive and more kind of, you might find more people that you can network with, and it's really important to be around the right environment. If you're around the toxic environment, then it's just going to make you feel defeated. It's hard to really feel optimistic about the future when you're around negative people. It might affect you at like a energetic level, like the talking about last night with this thing called morphic resonance. And it might be a phenomenon where like the vibrational frequencies, that how they affect each other. I mean, we don't really know exactly what's going on with it, but it's still not like a complete science with it really. But there's things going on where people are around certain people, and it just, if they're miserable, it just makes you miserable as well. It's like contagion basically. It's like you're around a certain energy, you can't help but feel that kind of energy. But yeah, anyway. I don't know whether to like restart the live for a bit. I don't know. Probably not. I might actually come back in the afternoon or something, um, but yeah, it's a bit I've enjoyed coming on, but yeah, it seems to have dropped off quite a bit. Like there's not as many people here now. It's like I can barely even get to like 10 viewers on here, which is just kind of disappointing, really, when you've got like over 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, I guess it's because I've not really been active that much on here, but still, like my last video was on like 26 views. The one before that's on 30 views. So yeah, I just hope that it'll start to kind of push me out more again as I'm more regular on here. I need to start, getting more videos out and things, and hopefully that will lead to more progress. Yeah, maybe I should make a video about this whole methylene blue stuff and the health benefits on that. So I need to look more into different things, like potential like things like nootropics and stuff like that. I've heard people talk about things such as lion's mane mushroom, and I've heard that there's conflicting stuff on that. Some people saying that it works, some people saying it doesn't work. But you got to be careful what you're promoting on here, because they don't like you really kind of saying that certain things work, because maybe it's because they have an agenda that they're trying to push, that they want to not have certain therapies pushed. But I see a lot of stuff on this methylene blue stuff, so as far as I'm aware, they're not gonna restrict me from talking about that, at least. But yeah, you just do have to be careful on these platforms. But yeah, I just hope that things kind of keep improving, and I grow the platform over time, and we'll finally kind of get some success with it. This problem when I was like on this TikTok thing for a while, trying to build up over there, and then it feels like I'm back at square one again. It's just like you have these setbacks, but maybe for the future you have to just try to just have backups. Maybe I need to try and get my content out on a bunch of different platforms. That way I'm building those up, so I'm establishing myself on different platforms. So yeah, it's just a kind of... Have you heard of the YouTuber Seb Jones? He's a NoFap guy who believes because of human retention, he's on the way to enlightenment. He thinks his spiritual light finding quite cringe. Yeah, that's just some kind of like nonsense, I think. Yeah, you get all these kind of like fringe type of content out there that make all these claims, like when you get people talking about sunning their balls and stuff like that for testosterone, and things like that, where it's like, and then you get like the kind of like looksmaxxing stuff where they're talking about doing bone smashing and crazy stuff like that. Like, what is wrong with these people? Everything's all become they're so obsessed with looks, probably because they don't actually have anything else going for them. In a lot of cases, like if you really need to just be so focused on the way that you look, then maybe you should like look at other aspects of you, like maybe like your social skills, maybe your like your having different things that you're interested in, having just being an interesting person, a well-rounded person. But when you're so focused on looks, then you're probably not going to be thinking about other aspects of who you are. So they think that all that matters is looks. No. Hi, Petchy. How you doing? Are you from Brazil? Yeah, nice to meet you. Welcome in here. Yeah, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Sunny in your balls. Yeah, that's like, isn't that something that freaking Liver King was on about, isn't it? I find it painful to watch his videos. He goes on about how semen retention leads to higher levels of consciousness and that one day he will be awakened, and if you pay for his one-on-one sessions, so will you. Yeah, it's just all like basically a funnel to get more money out of you. Probably a charlatan, actually. Yeah, a lot of these people are freaking charlatans who are just trying to just exploit the kind of like vulnerable people, you could say. Like, I would never really be buying any of these programs because I know they're just probably a bunch of crap. Yeah, as I don't really trust a lot of these people online. They're just, like I said, they're just a bunch of charlatans, a lot of them. Especially when people start talking about spiritual stuff. I start rolling my eyes when, they start kind of selling stuff to become spiritual or something like that. And yeah, I mean, of course, people can sell stuff. I have a problem with that. It's just that usually that stuff is a scam. Like, it's just a straight up scam. Like, they put a bunch of like pseudoscience and stuff into it and make it sound. You've known me before. I don't remember you, but you must have been here before, I guess. But welcome in anyway. Hope you're having a good day so far. What amazes me is how many people watch his videos and believe what he says. He speaks absolutely nonsense, yet people hang on to it. Yeah, exactly. It's just, you can pretty much just believe in anything, and then and share that with people, and you will get a crowd of people that will be like, "Oh yeah, you're so right. Oh yeah, Andrew Tate and the guys. Yeah. Well, I'm back now. I've been kicked off TikTok at 38,000 followers. So yeah, well, that's unfortunate. But to be fair, I actually prefer coming on here. Like, I've always like preferred this app. Really, tend to find that the people are better on here. Actually, I would more enjoy it for like conversation on here rather than going on that app where it's just people are just looking for brain rot basically for the most part. So congrats, so thank you. But yeah, unfortunately, getting kicked off there is not, isn't what I had planned really, but it is what it is. And, there's nothing you can really do about it. You just gotta suck it up, Oh well. It's just, we gotta just try and build it up again, and yeah, but hopefully we'll get monetized on here soon. Fingers crossed. The way he speaks into the camera and has like spiritual stare and talks like about the masters and how he meditates, it's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, it's just I think a lot of these believe what they're saying. It's like they need you to believe what they're saying. Yeah, they need you to. Yeah, they need you to believe in it. Yeah. It's just an absolute joke. And speaking of jokes, yeah, Andrew Tate is a fucking joke. If you look at the documentaries about him, about like how he's just, the guy is so cringe, like, and it's like he claims about his dad being like a certain level of chess champion or something like that, and it's like he exaggerates things, and yeah, because they need to make it seem like he needs to make it seem like he's bigger than what he actually is. And it's like how Andrew Tate would make out that he was like a bigger like kickboxing than what he was. But yet a lot of these kickbox champions had never heard of him until they'd heard of Andrew Tate being this influencer online. So it goes to show how he really wasn't that relevant as a kickboxer. So what a lot of these charlatans will do is just like exaggerate certain things about themselves to give it more of a sense of authority. I haven't seen much of Tate. I know he was involved in some. Yeah, well, that's what the claims are, but there's still all this kind of like investigation stuff going on, and yeah, that's fake, lol. Well, I don't know. It's just a lot of the stuff about where he's claiming to be a certain thing, and then you look at like the Hustlers University, and a lot of that's a fucking scam. So yeah, some of the stuff about him might be fake, but like generally, I just don't think he's a very trustworthy person, and I think he's somebody that young people shouldn't be looking up to, and not the news, but the accusation, right? Yeah. I mean, yeah, the whole trafficking thing, I don't know. It's just there's been some, it's like investigation and all that, but yeah, it's just yeah, he went to prison for a while to basically, and then he got let out, and because they didn't actually have anything on him at the time. I mean, I don't really keep up with a lot of it. It's just I just don't think a lot of these like red pill type of people you should really be looking up to. A lot of these that talk about like dating and stuff like that, though, and like lifestyle. A lot of them are just very materialistic, and anyone that promotes like hyper materialism is just. It's like there was this guy, what's he called, Wes Watson, and he's just like an absolute cringe guy. I don't know if you've seen this guy, but he's like the epitome of cringe, quote unquote, alpha males, but he actually got exposed as being a fake alpha male because he was just like, has this like, he just like had a breakdown about because someone would call him out on his bullshit and he couldn't handle it. And then he was basically defending, what's it called, the Van Wyck guy, the guy who assaulted Jeff Nippard. What do you think about Bitcoin? I was talking about this last night. I think I think the problem is because people can convert it back into pounds and stuff. It's not an actual like. It's like it can just keep going up and down in price, and it's just too volatile. I think is the problem. It's like people are just using it as like a Ponzi scheme, really. Is how I see it. It's just for someone to gain from it, someone else has to lose. So I don't really agree with Bitcoin really that much, but until it becomes something where people just treat it like a actual currency, where people start using it in shops more, and like where it becomes more seen as like legal tender, then okay, then I could say that it's worthwhile. But until then, I just see it as it's just a way for people to kind of make money at the expense of others, basically. Because that's what all these Ponzi schemes do. It's like, where is it? Robbing Peter to pay Paul or something like that. That's what they say. It's like you're taking money from somebody else is kind of what's going on. It's kind of like with gambling, where it's like, in order for someone to win, someone else has to lose. So there's not really any value exchange for the most part. I mean, of course, there could be some things in like crypto where, if it becomes like I said, things that, where people use it for, for like investing to make like transactions and stuff like that, and then I could see it having some value, but until then, I don't see the point. If you're not a Muslim in England, I suggest you to study more about the technology, the charts, so that was really, oh well, what you mean that about Muslims or something? I don't know, I don't really talk about religion in here, but like, yeah, anyway. But yeah, I'm going to be getting off pretty soon. I hope everyone's having a blessed day today. If you've got any questions, put them in the chat. But we'll be back on later. Not sure what time, but yeah, we'll be on later. So enjoyed this chat. So inflation's, immigration, and other things, bro. Yeah, I understand that. Like, I'm talking a bit about the whole migration thing and how it could be potentially like bad for like our economy and all that. With, I think the problem is that a lot of these people coming in, they kind of are in their own like communities, and it's the problem with that is that they're not really for a lot hardly benefiting the wider economy. Like, they're in these little bubbles, because where I used to live, there was like they were in these bubbles. They were in these like these communities where it was the vast majority were from their kind of countries. So like when you go through them, it would actually feel like you're a foreigner in your own country. And what that would do is it would like the people in those communities that would be they'd be supporting other people within that community. They wouldn't be supporting much of the people from, say, like from indigenous communities is what I'm getting at. So then combine that with the fact that a lot of them will just kind of, some of them might come in and just like claim some different, allowances and stuff, shall we say. So that could basically cause the wider economy to actually be negatively affected by it. Like, a lot of them will have like thriving businesses in their own areas, but the wider economy would just end up getting screwed over, because who's going to pay for these people who are just coming in like illegally and all that, and even some that come in legally, if they end up like just not really participating in our economy. So it's like there is some that are legitimately they come here for like work. They, like, for example, they come here to be a doctor. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that, because they do need more doctors, and we had to bring them in to fill that, because a lot of them are really good doctors. They're very qualified, and it makes sense. They have them from like different countries, like India, for example. I mean, it makes sense to bring them in, but when it comes to like they bring all these people in, and a lot of them are probably not really contributing to the wider economy. It actually just ends up decimating the wider economy. So yeah, I know it's quite a controversial thing, but yeah, I just don't even care anymore. I'll say it. It is that there is a problem. There is a problem with a lot of this, and then there's also the thing of them not respecting our laws, like where some of them even go into these communities and then they abuse people that were from this country, and people are rightly outraged by it. So yeah, it's just stuff that needs to stop. But I don't think rioting is going to help, though. I think these are a lot of just like these kind of hooligan types, and I just don't think they're actually helping the situation, to be honest. But yeah, I'm probably just gonna leave this place, because it's just they don't even care about the people here. They don't really give a damn, you probably get better treatment in another country. Like it's funny how you would get treated better as a foreigner in some other country than you would as like a national in your own country. Like it's just an absolute joke. I'm not being like racist or anything like that. I'm just saying that, like what happened to like putting your own people first? I mean, to be fair, I think it would be ideal if we could just not have borders at all. Like if we could just all just kind of mingle and all that. But I think the problem is because we've got different cultures and stuff like that, like we have to kind of vet people who are coming in to make sure that they respect our cultures, because it's like they might want to bring certain laws in that could really negatively affect our country. So yeah, we have to be very careful who we're letting in. I think we should have a right to not have. No, yeah, Australia is like really expensive though, and you'd have to get some job or something to move there. I mean, I'm more thinking of just becoming like a digital nomad and just moving to Southeast Asia, because that's where a lot of people seem to be going. And it's just like the quality of life over there seems to be a lot better, even though there's a lot of poverty over there. But you could live in a better situation with a lot less money over there. That is what it is. But yeah, like you could get yourself like a condo with a gym facilities. You could get a sauna facility and other facilities in there. Maybe even a shared swimming pool in some cases for like a few £100 a month. Like, I think that's an absolute bargain. But over here, you get F all in a lot of cases. Like, people have just had enough. We were talking last night about like how they're not even encouraging people to work. Like, basically what's happening, right? The lowest income people, I think, are on about 20,000 a year, something like that. But when you minus taxes off that, how much is it actually then? Because I think you need to earn something like £12,000 a year to basically like qualify for taxes. But basically, Aussie is just like the UK, right? But basically, yeah. So what's happening? Say like, and the problem is a lot of people have to drive to work. Now, not everybody, but there's some people that end up only actually maybe taking home 15k a year if they're lucky, running minus off their expenses with their car or whatever, if they're having to drive to work, or if they're having to go on a train to work or something, where they're having to pay, let's say they might have to pay £5 a day, £10 a day just to get to work. They might be going to the next town or something. Or they might have to, maybe they can't get on the bus because it just takes too long. So they have to get on a train or they have to drive there, which is going to cost them a good bit of money. So yeah, and it's not, and if you have to drive there, then you have to then factor in other things like your insurance and other things like that. But if you didn't have to if you don't work, then you can get by on a lot less. You can, you wouldn't even be earning, even if you're earning under £12,000 a year, then you don't have to pay any tax. So, but if you're earning over that, then you have to start paying tax. So, people just decide, what is the point? Like, it is just a joke. Like, they've got so see how much tax minimum wage. It's like they should be taxing the rich bastards more, I think, and not taxing the poorest of people. So it's saying here, how much tax do you pay on minimum wage? Earnings before £12,570 aren't taxed, but you'll have to pay a percentage of any income over that amount. For example, if you earn £9.18 an hour and work 40 hours, you'll need to pay 20% of the remaining money past the personal allowance. So it's not 20% of like total amount, but it's like, but let's say if you're earning, I don't know, let's say 20,000 a year, then it's like it's down to about, what is it, 18,000 something like that. You probably, yeah. There's all these like tax brackets and stuff, but what's the national minimum wage now? Let's have a look. I'm just having a look find out what the minimum wage is at the moment, just for kind of reference. 11.44 an hour apparently is the minimum wage now. Yeah, so that's what it's saying. 21 and over, it's £11.44 an hour. So that might, let's say if you're doing 40 hours a week, that, I mean, I suppose like maybe you can get by on that, but you know, if you, I mean, that's, if you're frugal with things, then it's not too bad. It all depends on the area that you're living in. 11.44 an hour, so you do 40 hours a week. That's probably about 450, something like that, a week. Not a week, not a month. It's probably actually, if you calendar per calendar, hang on. Well, I'm just getting confused now. Yeah, 400 and something a week basically is what I work it out to. Like what? Yeah. But yeah, 11.44. Like that's, if I do it quickly, that's like what, 11 times 10. That's what, 111.44. Is it? No, wait a minute. 100 and wait a minute. 11.44 an hour. That's. Wait a sec. I'm just going 114.40. So £114.40, and then multiply that by 4. That's about nearly £460 a week. Yeah, so that's like nearly £460 a week. So that's like, how much is that a month? That's about 2,000 a month, something like that. So that 24k a year, maybe, something like that. I suppose, like, I mean, yeah, because it has gone up recently. Although the average person really isn't earning that much more than minimum wage. Like they're earning something like 28,000 or something like that, or 30,000 maybe, but depends on where you live in. But yeah, but let's say if they're earning 24,000, and then let's say 12,000 and odd, let's say the 20% tax reduced from that. That's from the 12,000. Let's say you've got probably about 2,000 and odd, so 2,500, whatever it is. Something. Hang on, I'm trying to work it out really quick. But yeah, about 2,500. And then let's say, yeah, you probably end up with actually only taking back about 21,000 or so of that. But let's say if you have to drive to work, you might be spending, let's say, 2, 3, 4,000 a year. You might have to buy a car for a start. You're gonna have to, you probably have to get repairs on it. You have to obviously insure it, tax it, MOT it, service it, all that stuff. You have to add petrol in it every so often. So that could come out to thousands of pounds every year, possibly 3,000-4,000 a year in some cases, which then only leaves you at about maybe 17, 18, 19,000 left over, which is, so basically what I'm saying is that people are like earning only 12,000 and they're on the benefits or whatever, then you're probably not going to really be that much better off if you're working, because the thing is that that few thousand that you might get extra for working, like it really doesn't go that far anymore. Like just to go out for a meal nowadays can really set you back quite a bit. Like if you say go to like restaurant, you might be looking at spending 30, 40, 50 pounds on a single meal. Like if you're getting a decent meal, like you're getting a 3-course meal, like you might get a starter that sets you back like 6, 7 pounds. A main's probably going to set you back at least 10 pounds, maybe even 15, 20 pounds. It depends where you're going, but then you might get a dessert, another few pounds, and then you get drinks. That's going to be another few pounds on top of that. So, and then you might want to have to tip the waiter or something, another couple of pounds maybe. It's just like, yeah, so you end up spending like 40 pounds just for a single person. Like, who wants to be like doing that when you're already kind of not earning that much? Let's say you did that. Let's say you did 40 pounds a week and you go out for one meal every week. That's going to set you back about 160 pounds a month, let's say, which is like probably a couple of £1,000 every year. Let's say nearly about £2,000 a year that it's going to set you back. So yeah, like that's just from that. And then if you wanted to do any other stuff, like go out to like random places like, Starbucks, or go to, the different cafes and stuff. A lot of people will just go out, during the day. They just want to get something easy, just something on the go, just get a sandwich or whatever. Because for some cases, people are just that kind of tired from all the work they've been doing all week that they just want to have cheap food and stuff like that, because they just don't want to be messing around trying to cook a bunch of food that's going to take out, it's not even that it's going to take a long time, but it's just that they haven't really got that much time left from all that time that they were spending at work all day, and then getting home from work. It's typically expected in the UK. I mean, I've heard it's not like as bad in the UK, but I think it's just more seen as like a kind of gestural thing. But how do you expect people to tip when it's like the prices of everything is going up so much? So what I'm saying is that, it's like if you're, depending on the situation you're in with work, and a lot of people are going to struggle to have much left over at all, like, and yeah, it's just like, and then you got the fact that some people then have to move to a more expensive area to try and get more work opportunities. They might have to just like move into a more expensive place because there's no opportunities where they live, like for work, really. So then they end up spending more. There's like lifestyle inflation going on, and where they might have to then be spending, say, 500, 600 pounds a month on rent or something, just to be able to be within a short distance of the work. Otherwise, they're going to end up spending probably 10 to 20 pounds a day on fuel to get to work, and just spending an unnecessary amount of time trying to get to work, which would just eat into their time, because then they would end up spending so much time that they end up just basically eating whatever crap, because they haven't got time to really be messing around cooking food. So then that ends up eating into their wallet even more, because if you're, say, buying food, like ready meals all the time, it's not cheap. Like some of these are like, say, £5 a meal. Let's say in some cases, £3-5 a meal. Let's say you do that every day. You get something that you can just like throw in the microwave or throw in the oven, and it all adds up. And it's like, and people wonder why everyone's so like miserable. So yeah, it's I think that's a big part of it. Like people are struggling to be able to do anything fun anymore. It's like, even like I said, even just like going out for meals, it's like it's become increasingly increasingly expensive. Like people are struggling to be able to even afford to go on dates anymore because it's like even just to go off to a cafe now, it's not even cheap anymore. So you get a lot of these women that are like, oh, why aren't men taking us on dates anymore? Well, part of it is because you really have nothing to offer, and two, why are men going to want to spend the money, the just little bit of money that they have left? Okay, Benjamin, really. So yeah. Anyway, how's everybody doing? And I might sound a bit like doom and gloom and all that, but I'm just being kind of, you know, pragmatic. It's just that's the reality of the situation in this country. Whereas if you move to a different country, let's say in Southeast Asia, and you can even earn £1,000 a month, that's going to probably go a lot further than a minimum wage job in this country, believe it or not. Like that is just, yeah, it's just crazy. Like the amount of, like the cost of everything here. Like you could go for like a restaurant in the Philippines, for example, for just a few quid. Whereas here it's going to set you back tens of pounds. It's like night and day difference. Even things like street food over there are a lot cheaper. I think certain things are kind of expensive, like you're gonna have to get mobile data and stuff like that. But lifestyle over there is like, if you even just a decent lifestyle, you could get for about, someone was saying, about £1,200 a month would actually get you a pretty decent lifestyle over there. That ain't gonna get you shit over here. I mean, it is just, everyone's just getting so squeezed now financially. So I think it's probably going to be maybe one of the only ways to actually break free. I mean, some people can just really like grind on a business and then they can get somewhere with that. But even eating at McDonald's is really expensive. Yeah, I mean, I remember it used to be dead cheap, but I saw like this was like a promotional offer. I think it was McDonald's or Burger King or something, and it was I think it was McDonald's, and I think it was a burger, fries, and a drink. I think all of that together, I think there was a few things in the meal like that come out to like £5. I remember you used to be able to get, I think it was a burger like would cost about £1 or something like that maybe, and like fries would be like 99 pence or whatever, maybe even less. And then you get a drink, like say you get like a fizzy drink or a milkshake, but I think you were doing for about a couple of quid as like a meal. That was at one time. Now it's like £5. So it's like more than doubled in price. This is an absolute, just like, yeah. It's an absolute joke. And it's not like, and then they've probably even made the quality of it even worse, I bet. So it's like, not only are they increasing the price on a lot of stuff, but the quality of it goes down. And I remember they exposed how, like, like the Yorkie bars and stuff like that, and they shrink the size of the bar, like they have one less piece in it or something. And I remember they even did that with the things like the Snickers bars and stuff like that. I remember they used to be quite big, and they just kept reducing the size of them down. It happen so slowly, people wouldn't notice it. But that's what happens. It's just shrinkflation and then stagflation. It's just using cheaper ingredients. Yeah. So not only is the prices going up, but the quality is going down. So you're just getting attacked at both angles, basically. Not saying you should eat that crap anyway, but yeah, I mean, the thing is, if people weren't working all day, maybe they have more time to like plan, healthy meals, for example. Like they might plan to, cook something a bit, like maybe you just, put something in like a crock pot or something like that, or just, just put it all in like a pan and just let it simmer, and just, you don't really have to do a whole lot with it, really. And it's like, because sometimes, like, say you get home from work, you just wanted something there and then, like, you just want something convenient. Like, you haven't got time to be waiting for something to be ready. I suppose this is where, like, having a housewife would have come in handy, where you'd be like, you get home from work and there'd be tea ready for you, or dinner, whatever you want to call it, ready for you and the family. Like, you'd be home, and then you would be there with your family. You'd be like, but now it's like, if you're a man, you just come home to nothing in a lot of cases. And then a lot of men are just like, what's the point? It's like, I come home and then I've got nothing. That you just coming home just to be lonely. And they're like, what's the point in even bothering going out? What am I actually providing for? I haven't got a family to provide for, so what is the point? It's just like become a joke, like and it's like people are like, oh, these people lazy now. Well, it's like, okay, boomer, but can you blame them though? Like, they're literally, yeah, the house prices used to be a lot cheaper. You could buy a house with just, a couple of years worth of wages. You could buy yourself a house. Like, nowadays, it would take you several years just to get yourself a mortgage. Like, unless you're like really working your absolute ass off for like 60 hours a week, like, yeah, then you could. I just don't see the point, and then it keeps getting worse, and so even if you try and save up, then by then the prices might have gone up even more. The goalposts might keep moving, so a lot of people just be like, you know what? What's the point? What do you mean? So yeah, shrinkflation. I thought you said simulation then. But yeah, what a freaking joke, eh? It's just, yeah, an absolute, ugh. But yeah. But yeah, I think that a lot of these guys are just about, you know what? They're either gonna stay at home on their games, or they'll move somewhere where they're appreciated and can have a decent life. You know, some people might say that that's just giving up. Moving abroad. But to me, it's like, what is the point in slaving away just to then not even get rewarded for it? Yeah, exactly. A man at one time would have, just from his wage, would have supported a family. But now, because this is how feminism screwed over everybody, because now the woman has to go out to work as well. And the women feel so empowered because of it. But yeah, it actually shot them in the foot. It shot everybody in the foot. But yeah, it was all a scam, and it's like, the problem is, if you have like too many people trying to get jobs, then you end up with a situation where there's too many people competing for the same job, and then but because of that, it's just people are going to struggle. And when there's too many, and when there's not a lot of job openings as well, then people are going to be less inclined to leave their job and find something else, because they haven't got anywhere else to go. Like, it's going to be a lot harder to replace their job if they decide, I don't like it. I don't like how I'm being treated here. It might be more difficult to actually move on. So there's that issue as well, where you're having double the amount of people in the workforce, whereas at one time you would just have the men in the workforce, and then the women would stay at home. Now, I'm not saying every woman should stay at home. It's up to you, but it's just that there's consequences to these things. Oh yeah, back for a bit. Okay, yeah. I was just saying how this freaking modern, so even just like early feminism, it actually really screwed over both men and women because then both men and women would have to work full time just to be able to like support their family. Whereas at one time they got by on just one income. They're actually paid a living wage at one time. But nowadays it's not a living wage anymore. It's not enough to support a family for the most part. Like yeah. Anyway, reached a steep incline on my run, so having a break. Okay, fair enough. Is that like a treadmill or something you're running on or something? I did actually a 4 minute 15 mile on a treadmill, but I know it's like you say it's easier on a treadmill, but I actually had a slight incline on it to try and account for that. So I don't know if like that's an accurate result because whenever I've done running on a street or something, I've never got anywhere near that. So I found that a bit confusing. Running up a long hill, all right, but I'm just like, how was it saying I had a 4:15 mile on a treadmill, but yet when I run in the street, I can only do maybe like 6 minutes or something like that. So I don't know, like, is it? I'm wondering if it's like maybe because I'm very like tall guy and I'm quite big stature, it actually is quite impactful. And maybe that's why, but when I go running really like hard, I really feel it like when it's at a high enough intensity, you really feel it in like your shins and all that. You feel it just like it's really uncomfortable. But maybe because of like it's on a treadmill, it's a lot less impactful and I can go at a much higher intensity on there and I can get like pretty much like I don't know, like I was wondering like how many people have done a sub 4 minute mile on a treadmill. So yeah, I had like a 1% incline or whatever it was to try it because they say if you have a 1% incline, it accounts for that difference or something. But yeah, it's just I just thought that was interesting how I was able to do a lot faster on a treadmill. They say it can make it a little bit easier because of the um, but yeah, it's just I thought that was quite fascinating, but like how it's so much quicker than when I'm actually running in a on like the outdoors basically. So I'm just wondering what you guys think about that. I hate steep inclines. Oh yeah, I've heard like inclines are actually better on the joints or something. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if I could do sub 4 minute on the treadmill. But yeah, treadmills are a lot. I think they're a lot easier on the joints, aren't they? And on it really you don't feel like it pounding as much. But when I'm like going really hard, it's like there's more force being generated, so it's really quite. It can get quite uncomfortable on it. But yeah, you're getting a lot of that like called like eccentric load. You know, especially when you're almost like sprinting at that point. You're going basically like balls to the wall, like yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Like, let's see what the record is for record uh 1 mile time on a treadmill. See what the record is on a treadmill, because apparently on a on the outdoors it's something like 3 minutes and 43 seconds. That's the record. I prefer the treadmill at the gym, right? How long does it take to run what's this? Hang on. Let's just having a look at this. Trying to find out what the but the fastest that anyone's ever run on a treadmill, a mile. But you'd have thought there would be some record somewhere, but yeah. So you'll have to let me know what you could try go like 1 mile on a treadmill, see how fast you can do it. Because like I said, my record was 4:15. Like first time I tried it was 4:23, and then I went even faster. I was going up to about 17 miles per hour at one point. I think I was like, how the hell am I going this fast? I'm like thinking, is this kilometers an hour or something? I'm sure it was miles an hour. Like it was, yeah. So what's this treadmill mile per hour setting? Pace per mile. So like, yeah. But there's all these like settings and stuff that, yeah, just trying to find like the fastest speed that someone would do on a treadmill. But I mean, according to this, I'm like basically off the chart. Like yeah. Yeah, it's just I don't know. Like it'd be interesting to see if I could do sub 4 minute on a treadmill. If I could keep up like 15 miles per hour for like 4 minutes, that would be pretty cool. I reckon I could probably do it, but it might take a bit of practice. I'll have to see if I could do it with a slight incline. Well, they say it can be a bit easier on a treadmill because you've got because the treadmill's rolling. It's like it's kind of, I've heard it can like make it a little bit easier. So by putting it on a slight incline, that it might adjust for some of that. But like I said, it's also, I think it's it's a lot less impactful on the joints. Like you don't feel that impact on your legs as much. I average about 2 miles on the treadmill so far, right? Yeah, I was just wondering like what people's records are on the treadmill. I might have to even make a video about it actually to show proof of my time on the treadmill, and people be like, whoa, that's crazy. Just so that people know I'm not just like capping, because I'm serious. Like I said, I did 4:15 on a treadmill. I think I actually put it on a 1%, and then I think I actually upped the percentage at one point to like 2.5%. I think so. Yeah, I don't know. It was because they said like you should put it on a slight gradient to account for the because it makes it a little bit easier. So I'm just wondering if like because of my size and everything and my height, it actually running on like the ground, it makes it like very uncomfortable like after a while, like the amount of force that I'm putting on it. Because imagine if you're 6'4" with like some size on you, the amount of pressure that you keep on hitting it like that. And if you're trying to, the more force that you're forceful as well, like if you're trying to, kind of sprint, then you're going to just be like, after a while, it's just going to feel really uncomfortable. It's like, it might be that your heart can handle it, but it's like your legs are just going to feel it. And you just can't take it any longer. You're feeling really like, like strained on your shins and all that, because that's where it really where you're gonna feel it. That you get all these people like getting like, say like your Achilles heels and stuff like that, and you're feeling it, and you're like getting shin splints and then they get stuff happening to their knees. So maybe a treadmill might be a good like alternative to kind of prevent some of that because it's not as impactful. Also, trail running might be a good idea as well, and not running on these really hard tarmacs. It's not a natural place to be running. Maybe beach runs and stuff like that might be a good idea. You know, somewhere where it's a lot lighter on the feet and on the joints and everything. So yeah, like you. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. So everybody have a good day. We'll be back later. So all right, peace out, everybody. See you soon. Bye.